Hi there, everyone. So I wanted to create a game to help students with right triangle trigonometry. What I found was that students could tell me that sine was opposite over hypotenuse and so on and so forth, but to actually identify what side was opposite of that angle or adjacent or the hypotenuse, that's where they started to get into trouble. So I created this game to help them practice that. So what's going on here is players are collecting stamps. So you can see that there's 6 different types of stamps, and they will turn them in for points. So if they have a collection based on what's at the top of the screen here, then they can turn those in. So these will, let me flip these over. To start, the students need to see, or the players need to see what these are. So those aren't hidden, those are revealed. And then if they collect one of each stamp, they can turn those in or discard those stamps to get this many points, which will be changing. Okay, so it's not always going to be 7. Here, if they have 2 sets of 3, it says it here, but it's too tiny, too hard to see. If they have 2 sets of 3, doesn't necessarily have to be these colors. That's how they get those points. And here, just 4 of a kind. Again, whatever color, just all the same, those points. Okay, so each player starts with 2 angle cards and 2 trig cards. And the way this game is set up, I'm just using sine, cosine, and tangent, not secant, cosecant, and cotangent, but those can be added later because I figure if they know opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, it really doesn't matter if I use the reciprocal functions. And then I have this set up for player 2 so we can see their hand. So let's give them 2 angle cards and 2 trig cards. Okay, so back to player 1. Now they're going to create a trig function here. And what are my options? I have tangent and cosine, beta and gamma. And you can, click and drag your cards around like this. Let's see here. Tangent, beta, I'm going to go with tangent gamma. So tangent. No, I changed my mind. I'm going with tangent beta. And my reasoning is I'll get the same stamps here because beta is opposite over adjacent. Oops, I want these over here. And I'm trying to go for 4 of a kind. So if I can get 4 yellow, like right off the bat, I'll get points right away. So now I will grab a new angle and a new trig card. And at this point, if I have any collections to turn in, I would do that, but I don't. So player 2 is just kind of like, I don't really care. Fine, I'll play this game. Tangent, theta. So theta is opposite over adjacent. So flip those over and he gets new cards. Back to player 1 who's actually trying to win and be awesome at this. And that's the thing, even though player 2, their heart isn't into it yet, they still get to move forward in the game, even if they're not trying their best. All right, so I have gamma here. Both my angles are gamma. So tangent or cosine? Cosine. Cosine. Gamma gives me adjacent over hypotenuse. The reason I'm going for this one is because it has 4 stamps as opposed to 6. So I don't have to give up as many cards to get the points. Okay. Nothing to turn in yet, so it's player 2. And they're still thinking, the reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't want to strategize every single move I make on every single turn here for my imaginary players. So cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. So we get the bird over the tree. That's a nice combo, huh? New cards. We got alpha and sine. Okay. I'm looking to get either 2 more yellow or 2 more greens. Not going to happen, but I can get closer here. Again, it's with gamma, and my options are cosine or tangent. And it doesn't seem to really matter. Either way, I'm going to get a yellow. But then do I want one of these? It doesn't matter. So in this case, I don't really have a meaningful choice. So what did I put there? Cosine. So adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, a new angle, a new trig function. Okay. Player 2. Tangent, beta. So the nice thing on this is in between turns, the players can kind of come up with their strategies. So even though it's not their turn, they have something to do, to think about. Here, still nothing to turn in. Okay. Over here, oh, if I can get one more yellow. What are my angles? I have alpha and gamma. Gamma? Tangent! All right. Tangent. Gamma is opposite over adjacent. Okay, I have 4 of these, so I'm going to discard them. I'm just going to put them up here, I guess. So 4 sun stamps. Okay, and that's worth 7 points. So I'm going to give myself 7 points. And now the next person to get 4 of a kind will get 6 points instead. Okay, so if I could turn in more of a collection, I could do that on this turn, but I don't. So now it's back to player 2, just a few more rounds, so we can just check out what's going on here. Let's see, sine alpha opposite over hypotenuse, and I did rotate these triangles to be different on purpose, so they don't always think, you know, the opposite is the bottom part. Still nothing to turn in. See what happens when you don't have a strategy. All right, player 1. Oh, gotta turn these over. Let's see here. Both are sine, alpha, and beta. I'm gonna go with sine of alpha. Sine alpha. That gives me this red that I didn't have before. That way, maybe I can start working on that one. Okay. Oop, not there. All right, maybe one more each player, and then I'll stop this video so you get the idea. Again, this guy's just putting up anything. Cosine beta. Oh, look at that. He made a collection, 3 of a kind, 2 sets of 3, so we'll discard those. This is the annoying part, is dragging all these cards over. Can I grab more than one at a time? No. Oh, carpal tunnel, here I come. All right, and that's worth 7 points. But he had to give up 6 cards to get it. Okay, back to player 1. I'll do player 1, player 2, and then I'll stop here. So let's see. If I could get a green and a black, I'd have 2 sets of 3. So that would be... I need cosine beta. Looky here. I have, again, no meaningful choice. I have to go with sine beta. So that's another thing students start to see. Well, if I got, like, you know, tangent... theta, then I get these 2 cards that I need. So they start thinking ahead like that. Oh, interesting. Look at what happened here. All green, all blue. All right, player 2, and then we'll stop. Oh, never gave him his cards. Not that he cares anyway. We'll just go with, now he's starting to come up with a strategy, right? Tangent alpha. Figures that I'll go for green. Alpha. Opposite over adjacent. He has a set of 4. Turns those in. There were 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now they're worth... Oh, I looked at the wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, there were 5. Okay, so that's kind of how it goes. When does it end? I don't know. There's a bunch of things you could do whenever a certain player reaches a certain amount of points. Or when we're in class, I like to be like, we're going to play for 20 minutes or whatever. Whoever has the most points at that time is the winner. You could go when a certain pile runs out. However, I have made my cards pretty high here because I didn't want them to run out. So you can see they all have quite a few cards in there. Or you could be like, once one of these are worth no points anymore, um, then the game's over. So I still like the time option. You know, at this time, whoever has the most points is the winner because then every student is finishing at the same time. So this is something they could play remotely as well. The only thing is the game doesn't keep track of the rules. So if the kids aren't playing by the rules correctly, you know, if they put down sign alpha, but they do adjacent over hypotenuse instead of opposite over hypotenuse, someone has to be keeping track of that. So, but there you go. Those are my thoughts on this game.